What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Blessing. Here you can find weekly content on everything that's trending in the cryptocurrency market. I've taken a couple of weeks off just to refresh and recharge my batteries, and we are back, ready to start producing more content on this. And I am back, ready to produce a ton of content on this emerging cryptocurrency market that is still very much in its infancy. There's always so much going on in this market, still hovering a little bit above $200 billion like we have for the last few months, getting a bit of pump over the last week up to $225 billion or a little higher than that. And today is still a red day. We have far more red days than we have had green. And with the green days so few and far between, when they do come, it's a welcomed change. Bitcoin dominance remains higher than 50%, which is a little bit of uncharted territory. With the rise of the altcoins that we saw back in late 2017, and since Bitcoin initially started to drop in dominance in March of 2017, we saw it hit a low of 38%. That was in June, just a couple of months after the drop started. Prior to that, for several years, Bitcoin very rarely dropped below 80%, only to be brought back up at times almost 90% dominant in this market. Since the rise of the altcoins, we've seen Bitcoin resurge once halfway through December when it hit that all-time high of almost $20,000. Then retrace back down to 30 some odd percent, get a slight spike to 45, retrace, and now it is back on the rise. The future is still up in the air. I would imagine Bitcoin dominance to slowly start coming back down as we see the rise of the altcoins, but stranger things have happened, and all we can do is continue to monitor the markets. Last week, XRP made headlines with a long talked about flippening. In the past, it's been talked about Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin, or something like Litecoin overtaking Ethereum, but no, it was none of those. XRP, however, briefly did take the second position in the cryptocurrency markets last week when it spiked to over 70% gains and was pushing 65 cents. And the price hit above 75 cents. However, briefly, that was whenever it did overtake Ethereum, just for a couple of hours. Since then, though, it has found stability, so we might see a new norm going forward. Rather than XRP being down in the 20 cent range, we might see it find stability above 45 cents going forward, and it could in all reality be eyeballing $1 for the close of this year. A lot has to happen in the market cap and in the overall cryptocurrency markets, but we've seen insane rises before, and I would not be incredibly shocked if it happened once again. This market is still rampant with development, with big names like JP Morgan, Intercontinental Exchange, Starbucks, Microsoft, and even Amazon hinting at getting involved in some regard in cryptocurrency. The future still remains incredibly bright despite all of these red days that we've had this year. Looking at the total market capitalization, we've not seen anywhere near the pumps that we were used to seeing in the first half of this year. Really, since the $468 billion high that we saw Saturday, May 5th of this year, it's been a slow decline with short bursts of pump here and there only to be retraced. And really, even though Bitcoin is above $6,500 right now and has been for quite some time, the market cap is relatively low. Considering Bitcoin was at $20,000 when the market cap was over $800 billion, the market cap is a fraction of $800 billion, but the Bitcoin price has not come down equally with the overall market cap. So that's very promising. That means if we do break $500 billion or even approach the $800 billion, I would expect Bitcoin to be north of $25,000, $30,000. All we can do is be patient and wait for another big bubble to occur, and then we will once again see cryptocurrencies shot into the limelight and have a whole new set of retail investors come on board. Really, every time this market blows up, it awakens a certain percentage of the population that there is an alternative to fiat currency. And many of those options are a far better system than fiat currency and can provide a much more even wealth distribution. Hopefully, the rich are not going to continue to get richer and the poor continue to get poorer if this market does eventually take off. In other cryptocurrency headlines, there's been new amendments to cryptocurrency sales that are being enforced by the Korean government. The government of South Korea on the 27th of September organized a meeting for cabinet persons where they discussed the issues related to the brokerage and sale of digital assets, otherwise known as cryptocurrency. Their other agenda of the meeting was to find out the reasons why it should not be involved as a section of business enterprises. They plan to discuss in the G20 summit and accordingly ease the rules and regulations about the cryptocurrency industry. In this G20 summit, cryptocurrencies are categorized as financial instruments, which were earlier declared as a non-financial product by the government of South Korea due to the unpredictable and highly volatile nature of these virtual assets. This continues the uncertainty in the South Korean cryptocurrency market. However, Orbs, which is a third-generation blockchain-based platform, is getting a ton of attention over there. The platform is built on Ethereum, and it was mentioned further that the competition amongst the blockchain trading sector for third-generation platforms was already on its way. The platforms are well equipped with third-gen technology to solve the issues faced by Ethereum platforms already in the market, namely being scalability issues. Orbs claims to focus on the problems like sluggish data processing speeds, and the commission-free charges on every transaction. After Bitcoin, the second generation of these platforms was started, and now it is time to usher in the next generation, that being blockchain 3.0 and 4.0. In other words, industry-specific solutions and decentralized applications are really what comprises blockchain 3.0 and 4.0. Going back to Ripple, there's been a ton of publications discussing this flippening with Ripple and Ethereum, and that XRP is potentially eyeing $1. And if that does happen, they will take the second position in the cryptocurrency markets because XRP has been performing tremendously well over the past few weeks and is definitely the most talked about asset. It has been one of the higher traded assets in this market, along with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron, Bitcoin Cash, and really anyone in the top 10. But XRP has really taken the cake in the last couple of weeks with two significant pumps. Really one significant pump and then a short residual pump. But it is very promising for XRP holders as cross-border payments begin to evolve and financial institutions begin to adopt these new cutting-edge practices using financial technology that is RippleNet and or XRP, all powered by blockchain. Now heading over to Tron TRX, it's in the 13th position overall at just above 2 cents right now, which is a far cry from where it was during the height of the big bull run that we saw in late 2017. Where it topped off at 25 cents. Then during the mainnet launch at the end of April and the 1st of May, we did see it spike to over 1,000 Satoshis and 9 cents, but has since followed the course of the rest of the market and retraced all the way down to 2 cents. Regardless of the lack of price action in TRX, there's been a ton of developments. Justin Sun and the Tron Foundation recently did a live event where they announced that after an upgrade to the peer-to-peer file sharing platform known as Bittorrent, and for those of you that aren't familiar, Tron, TRX, and Justin Sun and the Tron Foundation acquired Bittorrent and all of the proprietary technology that it comprises. That also includes uTorrent, and have just announced through this live event that users using the file sharing platform will have a reward in TRX tokens to stimulate file sharing. It's an incentivized program that's going to radically change the way we currently file share. Previously, using BitTorrent and seeding files was completely free and you didn't have any incentives. The seeders were the content providers and the leechers were those who consumed or downloaded the files. With no incentive to save material, a seeder had no real motivation to keep a file available for others to download, especially if you don't have unlimited bandwidth. I know just as a general practice over the years in downloading torrents, as soon as the file is completed, I removed it from my seeding simply because it was taking up extra bandwidth for no real incentive. This is going to radically change the way we file share, but as with most new paradigms, it's likely going to take a lot longer than even Justin Sun himself assumes it will take to really catch on. Tron is trying to decentralize the web, not only with Project Atlas, but with their whole vision. Project Atlas is the foundation for a new way of content distribution. The product's going to feature faster downloads, more seeds, no mining, and backwards compatibility. It's adapted to the world we live in today, mobile, connected, and transparent. They plan on eventually empowering all content creators and their communities by eliminating the middleman and enabling content creators to distribute directly to users. It's also important to note that leechers of these files will be able to pay seeders for allocating more bandwidth to their particular equipment or file, thus ensuring a higher download speed and stimulating the use of TRX by both seeders and leechers. Tron still remains in the 13th position with a total market cap of $1.4 billion. But the development, as I say, is not reflected in the overall price, and that's par for the course with this market. We see very little price action, but a whole lot of development. It will take potentially decades for cryptocurrency to fully reach mainstream mass adoption, but it's going to be one hell of a ride throughout the entire process. There's a lot of confusion about the SEC and some government regulations that is going to become more clear as this year closes and 2019 starts to roll out. I plan on continuing to cover these intricate dynamics of the emerging and hyper-evolving space of cryptocurrency, so make sure you focus your time and energy on the things that you personally believe in, and ideally, the things that will advance you personally or the world around you. Blockchain technology remains a marvel of fintech, and I'm excited to continue to explore this market with you all. Thank you so much for your ongoing support here at Crypto Blessing, and I will see everyone very soon.